What's going on YouTube? Jimmy House here. Welcome back to the How Strong YouTube channel. So today, what I got for you guys is a very special video. I'm here partnered up with a very special friend of mine. She is a Ifbb figure pro, 2014 Olympia competitor, correct?
That was a long time ago, yeah. 2014.
2014 Olympia competitor, as well as a owner of many dogs and cats. Without further ado, let me introduce you guys, ALICIA Coates.
I hate you.
Say hi.
We're in my house right now. I hope you guys see these outtakes that I've been recording.
This is not a house, this is a high-tech studio in Hollywood. But we do have a diva light behind us that I can't see through at the current time, but she said...
I have this diva light because it's horrible lighting in here.
She told me it'd be better, but I don't think you guys care.
I think it's better. I think...
Anyways.
It makes you look pretty.
Anyways, I'm sorry. She's out of control. But, alright guys, so the point of today's video, so later on we're going to get a workout in, right? But right now, I want you guys to get to know who is ALICIA Coates. I got some questions for her, some about like her own personal journey, others that might be able to help you guys if you're interested in marketing yourself or marketing a brand for yourself. So all good information. Before I start, let me go touch on a story about how her and I know each other. So basically, when I was 15, I started at Gold's, which is now EOS, and you know, I'm a little 15-year-old trying to find my way around the squat rack and bench press and everything like that. And anyways, I see Alicia there. She's Miss Popular of the gym. She doesn't like to admit it, but she was. And you know, I'm just walking around staring.
Hold on, did you just say I was?
Or she was, but she is now. I mean,
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
she's out of her prime for sure.
I'm kidding.
Out of her prime for sure. Don't listen to anything she says.
I hate you.
Yeah, she does. But yeah, so I'm walking around and I'm staring like, dang, this chick is the ish right now. Like, look at all the people coming up to her and stuff like that. So I admired from afar. Fast forward about 2 years, I was 17 doing my first bodybuilding show. And I was sitting in the back. I didn't have a whole lot of people there talking to me, so I was just sitting by myself. And what really touched my heart was that through the extreme tan that I had going on and the buzz cut that I'll never get again, Alicia actually somehow recognized me and like said good job or said hi or something like that. And ever since then, I just had a special place in my heart for, you know, ALICIA Coates, and just like everyone else in the world. So yeah, so here we are today. So without further ado, let's get started with question number one.
He has to get his laptop because he doesn't remember these 4 questions from the top of his head.
We were supposed to cut that part out, but now we will. All right, question number one. So tell everyone about like your fitness journey, your like competitive story, like from where you started to where you are now.
So it's like super fast. It happened really quick. I was 26. My friend said, you should get on Instagram because if you get on Instagram, you're gonna be so popular. And I didn't have Facebook. I wasn't into technology. I was like an outdoor nerd. I liked to play sports. I wasn't into all that stuff in college. So at 26, I entered the high health fitness competition at the first Phoenix Europa and won. And I was like inspired. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is awesome. I did my bikini competition in November 2012. I won. Did a figure competition in March 2013. I came in 3rd. And then I went to Junior Nationals that summer in June and became a pro in figure. And so from there it took off. I came back home, I did the Kentucky Muscle, run my pro debut, did the Felicia Romero, won my 2nd show ever, and then got invited to the Arnold. Came in 7th internationally, which is a huge deal for a rookie. And then went to the Olympia and came in 11th in the world. And then I just stopped.
Now she's just stuck here talking to somebody like you.
Yeah,
so.
now I'm in like
she's on the downhill right now, but hey, might as well take advantage of it.
Well, you know, a lot of things happened along the way. I had breast augmentation surgery that went bad, and that's for another YouTube. So I stopped competing after that because I had a lot of problems. But had I not done that, I mean, I probably could still be on stage now and maybe have a title. You know, I should have probably kept going that route, but I didn't.
Question number 2.
Okay.
So during the course of your journey, when you're doing all these things, was there ever a time where you started to question what you're doing? Did you ever feel like you weren't doing the right thing? If so, what happened and how did you overcome it?
Oh yeah, so probably right before I did the Arnold in 2014, it was really hard to make a living doing fitness full time, I have to be honest. Even though I was signed with Live Fit and I had like a small salary, I mean, I was like living, breathing, sleeping, eating legit amounts of food, like 3,000 calories a day to be a beast. and to be big because I'm so petite. But yeah, I wasn't making good money, and it was hard to survive, and it put a lot of strain on my personal life and the relationship I was in at the time. And yeah, I had to wake up one day and just tell myself, like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do great. And I just kept pushing through. And after the Olympia, I kind of just needed to take a break and regroup. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, how do you do fitness full time? It's not easy, and it's a struggle, and you definitely have to compromise a lot of things. I mean, I didn't have a social life, I didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah, she didn't talk to me for like 3 years. I was like, what the heck?
Whatever.
She even unfollowed me on Instagram at some point, so.
I'm sorry about that.
This is a true story, but here we are.
It was a rough time in my life. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I did, actually. But yeah, you just called me out real hard right now.
That's what gets views, though. It's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but honestly, financially, trying to be a professional fitness competitor is semi-unrealistic at some point. Unless obviously you're like Phil Heath, you're making a lot of money, or some other big names. Some women don't make a ton of money doing this, and people think that you get paid for a lot of photo shoots or to be in magazines. You know, any magazine you've ever seen me in, I was never paid for any of those photo shoots.
Wow.
Those are opportunities that you take because you might not ever have them again,
right,
regardless if you make a paycheck from them. And so, I'm glad I did.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, especially with some of you guys. If you guys are new to fitness and you're aspiring to do something bigger than, say, just going to the gym and getting a nice sweat and pump going, just understand that, you know, like she just said, it's not all, what's the term? Stars and daisies. I just made that up in my head. It's not all stars and daisies.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Once you get to the top. In fact, in her point of view, it even got harder. So that's something to consider. Unless you make something huge, like do a business from your name, like Phil Heath does, or anything like that, it's hard to make a great living. So that's something to take into realistic consideration. Is that a word?
Consideration. Considerization. I love it.
I go to college.
I love it.
I go to college, I promise you. All right, question number 30. So Alicia has a pretty established name, obviously. So one of the questions I personally wanted to ask her, you know, what's a good piece of advice that you could give somebody that's trying to, you know, turn their name into a brand or push themselves as a brand or something marketable, something profitable in the future? What would you suggest?
So this is a story I don't ever talk about. So when I was first starting, this was prior to me winning my first pro show, I wanted to be sponsored anything. I wanted to be sponsored by any company. I didn't even care. I would sell socks if it would sponsor me. Like, I was all about it. I just thought it was the coolest thing. And it still is. I mean, don't get me wrong. You learn a lot along the way. So I remember Hani, who is Phil Heath and Nicole Wilkins and Jeremy Buendia's coach. Ifbb was making its way to the top, and this was like 2013. And I remember him posting on Instagram that he was looking for you know, like sponsored athletes, or he was looking for affiliates to do stuff for Ifbb. And literally like 2 seconds after he posted that, it was like probably midnight, I sent a resume. I had a resume, a fitness resume that I wrote, I don't know, talking about whatever. I didn't even know what to write back then. And I just wrote that I won high health fitness competition and I ran track in college, whatever. And I sent it to him, and he literally emailed back and was like, I've never had anyone respond to anything so fast ever. And I just remember thinking, is that a good thing? Like, am I crazy? He honestly thought I was crazy. Didn't really talk to me until I was at the Arnold, and then he realized I was
She's only halfway crazy.
I was kind of legit. He was like, oh, this girl's kind of legit. She's at the Arnold. It never worked out with Hani. I didn't end up signing with Ifbb. He ended up working with other athletes, but it worked out with LiftFit. And that's the thing a lot of people don't get. Like, I literally would sit and go to websites of companies that I liked from bodybuilding.com. Even bodybuilding.com, I sent them a resume, and they wrote me back and were like, oh, we're interested in you joining Body Space and like doing our contest. No. Literally, I would just send my resume and emails to any company that would listen. And if they would talk to me, I was all about trying their product for free. Don't even pay me, just send me stuff. Like, that's a lot of money in protein. That's gonna be like a year's worth. And honestly, I was consistent. I wasn't overly sexy, I wasn't vulgar on my Instagram, and Randall started following me when he had like 30,000 followers for LitFit, and I had like maybe a little bit more than LitFit back then. And he wrote me and was like, hey, you know, rep our clothing brand, I really like you. And I didn't even reach out to LitFit. He just followed me from afar and paid attention to how I was. And I was respectable, and I spoke well, and I handled myself well, and I was going to the top in fitness, and he respected that. And honestly, that's how my 3-4 year journey with them started. You know, I made very little money, and at the end I was making really good money being a sponsored athlete with them. And so I just was consistent, and I didn't stray away from who I was. Like, I wasn't trying to be something I wasn't, you know?
Yeah.
Like I do this Nude in Nature series, and yeah, I'm naked, but like, I'm not running around in my thong all the time. I'm not trying to like show off, like, here are my abs and my under boob, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, there's a lot to fitness that has become super sexualized, but back then, I just wanted to win, you know? I just wanted to win shows and be ALICIA COATES, like Miss Figure Olympia. That was my goal. So I don't know, you just have to like stay true to yourself. And when you're marketing yourself on Instagram, it's a different game now. You know, they have the algorithm, Facebook owns it. It's not even the same anymore. Back then you could post and your post would be seen like right away. Now you're on a timeline of bull crap and it's hard to get seen.
Yeah.
So you really have to be consistent with posting. YouTube is like the best way to get out there now. People are interested in like interaction with you. They want to know what you're about. They want to hear you talk. I know that's going to be like your next question, but like YouTube is really fair. You know, it's a fair way for people to see and hear you. Instagram now, it's not so fair anymore. It's kind of all messed up from Facebook. So back then it was easy. I got a lot of followers really easy on Instagram. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, now she just take all my followers when I shout
No,
her
I
out.
just take. Hey, I just did a poll for you the other day, and there was a lot of girls called you Zaddy status. Okay, if you guys follow me on IG,
Where you at though? I don't see you on my followers list though.
If you follow me on IG, we did a poll for him, and all the females loved it, and a lot of guys loved it too.
And
so.
I wanted to touch on the fact that where she mentioned, you know, staying true to yourself if you really want to push yourself out there, because I think the biggest thing, you don't want to be, you would hate to be, or I would hate to be popular for being something that I'm not, and I guess that's something that you can only attest for yourself, you know, deep down. One of the first things that I noticed when I started talking to Alicia, and I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but she is like extremely real. Like, I really appreciate like that she's not, I don't know, stuck up, like head in the daisies. Dang it. What am I saying?
You're so much more quick-witted when you're not on camera, guys. He's actually really funny when he's not on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, she's super real, and I don't get a lot of vulgarity or a lot of ego when I talk to her, and that's something that's really cool because I've been around different people in the fitness industry, maybe not as much as her, but it's all too common to see people's egos get in the way of maybe who they really are on the inside, and I don't know, I think that's the most...
You've been to fitness expos, right? Have you ever met like someone, you ever met someone that's totally not what you thought they were, based on Instagram, or based how they are? Because I have, I've met a ton of
a few times.
Who are...
Yeah, I try not to get too deep into it, but I have met a couple, yeah, so...
I mean, you'll see right through it real quick when you start meeting them.
Right, for sure.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we slightly touched on this, but so when it comes to social media, what do you feel is the most effective platform to market yourself off of right now, and why? And I guess from your own personal experiences.
So I'm not super interactive like on YouTube, but the few times that I have been and the videos that I have up there got great responses. Everybody loved them because they want to like see what you're about, especially when you're prepping. If you're prepping and vlogging a prep, everyone's about that because that's free information and it's stuff that people really want to know, because not everyone can afford a coach, not everyone can afford to have consultations with pros, you know, on how to go about things. So vlogging and YouTube, I feel like, is the most beneficial platform to be in now. I personally hate vlogging. I hate walking around the camera. I hate being in a restaurant like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm not hating on anyone who vlogs. I just am like, I don't know, it's not like my thing. Like she
doesn't have good delt strength.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's really good tendonitis and stuff. No, I don't know. it's hard for me to like keep up with it. Like, this is my meal, everyone. I don't know. It just, sometimes I just feel like it's too much for me. So vlogging's not my deal. I like Instagram. Take a picture, talk about it, post about how you feel, how you're doing that day motivational wise. People look up to that too. But I feel like if you're going to really make an impact and like interact with people, vlog, go on YouTube or Snapchat. I know Snapchat's super big now, but Instagram's just pictures, and your IG story isn't super relative. Not a lot of people see it.
Yeah.
People really want to interact with who you are and realize like, oh yeah, she's funny, she's, you know, down to earth. I feel like YouTube is a thing, and that's why we're doing, you know, obviously this vlog right now with my camera.
I brought my camera
in
too.
my house with my DLA.
I'm a freeloader. So the next question is, so when it comes to marketing, this is something that I've kind of touched into a little bit.
How's the lighting? Do you feel buff in this lighting?
You know how I said she wasn't like your typical fitness chick? She's not helping that at all right now. Calm down.
Okay.
I mean, we could just get in a pose down right now.
No, we don't have enough room.
Okay.
We don't have
not enough room because you're so big?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
my ego's this big.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
All right, what's
guys,
the question number
next
5?
question,
Hold
so-
on, what's your computer saying? I want to make
read
sure you're
what-
not cheating. Okay.
Okay, so when it comes to marketing, this is something that I've touched on.
Okay.
When it comes to marketing yourself, there's a few different ways you can do it, obviously. From my own experience, obviously you have online interaction, which goes a long way. You can outreach a lot of different people with doing that in a short amount of time. But then there's, you know, your physical face-to-face interaction. And from my point of view, it's hard to weigh out which one is more important. Online, obviously you reach a lot more people, but face-to-face, I've always found that, you know, that's where I get like true loyal supporters, because they get to, I guess, get a feel of how I am, get a vibe from me, and they can choose whether they think I'm a worthy person from then. But yeah, like, I've always kind of valued face-to-face interaction more when I'm trying to market myself. I may not hit as many people as I would like to, like I do online, but it's one of those things where talking to people is really powerful. So I wanted to get your take on what you think the pros and cons are to each, and what do you think if one is more powerful than the other?
Okay, so when you're talking about personal, like face-to-face interaction, how do those people find you first, though?
Okay,
from online.
Good point.
Do you know what I mean?
For the most part, yeah, I would say for the most part
Unless
online,
you're
or
locally
or
people
other
at
people
events.
talking to other people.
Because when I would go to fitness expos, you know, people knew me from, you know, being on the Olympia stage or the Arnold stage, or being with Live Fit, and that was all online interaction.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So when they meet you in person, obviously they're there standing in line hours on end to interact with you. So like at your powerlifting meets, do you have fans that come meet you?
I don't.
Or people who like respect you and
I
want
would
to meet
say,
you?
yeah, I would say that. Or at the gym. The gym's pretty common. Sometimes when I go out.
But your YouTube page is growing super fast.
Yeah.
It's because they want to interact with Jimmy House. They want to know, like, on our workout, you know, you're going to do your thing and I'm going to do my thing. And it's totally different ways of lifting. Because I don't lift like a powerlifter. And you don't lift like
Not yet.
Like a figure pro.
But I'm going
All
to.
he keeps saying is that I'm a bikini girl, and I just want to
didn't say that.
Wring his
When
neck.
did I say that?
You called me a bikini girl like 3 times.
In this
like
video?
we're gonna no.
Oh.
In general.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Nothing's wrong with bikini girls, but come on.
Yeah, nothing's wrong.
Why did you
There's gonna be a lot of people offended. Like, probably
nothing's
like
wrong with
half
bikini
the
girls,
audience, like,
but I'm not a bikini pro. And I was like, bro, call me what I am. I worked really hard for that.
Sorry.
I ate cups and cups of rice a day for that.
At least I knew enough.
When I trained for bikini, I didn't eat cups and cups of rice. It was for figure.
Okay, I'm sorry. Dang.
I'm offended. I gotta go, guys. All right, what's the last question, Jimmy?
The last question is, what are your goals moving forward? Whether it's fitness.
I want to come back and be Miss Olympia.
I didn't even finish my question.
One of these days.
She's gonna do it too, and I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there. I want to rescue dogs, be Miss Olympia, and start a new business. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Anything else?
I want to go to Taco Bell right now and eat Mexican pizza before we work out.
It's disgusting.
What do you want to eat?
Jack in the Box.
No, bro, that's gross. What did you have? You had Jack in the Box before you got here. What did you eat?
2 number 7s.
What's it?
It's a double, like it has bacon and 2 patties and like no vegetables at all. It's great.
Okay, in the comments below, are you a Jack in the Box fan or a Taco Bell fan? And if you are either, what do you order? I order the number 4, the Mexican pizza with 2 hard tacos with a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. What do you order? 2 number 7s?
Yeah.
All right, this is the poll. Ready? I hope you guys like this Q&A. If you have any other questions though, put it in the comments below and maybe we'll do an episode 2. But we're gonna do it in Jimmy's house because his mom has like an Asian shrine in her house of like Buddhas and Jimmy's like on the walls.
Sometimes the Buddhas can look a lot like me.
They do.
If I'm
I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do episode 2 if you guys put more stuff below that you wanna know, okay? Are you good with this Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye guys.